What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to Rehab Christian Center, Christian Center's live virtual experience. And I am grateful to be with you tonight for what we call life study. And man, listen, I've got a powerful lesson that I want to teach tonight. Y'all know me; I can be a little weird and quirky when it comes to the things and the topics that come my way. But let me tell you something. This is going to be another life-changing series. And man, I can't wait to share it with you. So thank you for tuning in. I promise you, I'm going to honor time commitments tonight. So I'm going to try my best to have us done and off the air right at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern sharp, if not a few minutes before. I'm going to try to honor that tonight. But thank you for tuning in. Now, let's get some people on the line. Let's get some people invited. If you have not already, go ahead and start hitting that @ symbol and tagging people, regardless of the network that you're on. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like all of our channels if you have not already, because I want to get right into this lesson, part 1 tonight, the series, The Gray Area. And man, it's going to be powerful and just an awesome litany of revelation that I have for you, that God has given to me, that I can't wait to share. All right, so let's go through all of our networks. Facebook, good evening. I was about to say good morning. Good evening to you. It's good to see you virtually. Facebook, those of you that are tuned in via Facebook, thank you so much. Do me a favor, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and like this video. Hold down that like button. Change it to a love. And then I want you to hit the share button. Share this video to your page. Tag 5 people. Hit that @ symbol. Tag 5 people. Tell them to tune in tonight for this awesome series start of an awesome series, The Gray Area. So I want you to tag 5 people quickly. Facebook, again, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. Instagram, good evening to you. It is good to see you virtually. If you are tuning in on Instagram or you are tuning in and catching the replay, it's good to see you virtually. Do me a favor, if you're on Instagram, hit the love button. Let me see some hearts going up the screen. And if you have not already, I want you to hit that @ symbol and tag 5 people and tell them to tune in to this awesome lesson tonight on the gray area. It's going to be powerful. I can't wait to teach it, and I'm so glad you've tuned in. YouTube, good evening to you. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, thank you so much for joining. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can do so at The Rehab CC. That's at The Rehab CC. That's where we are on YouTube. If you have not subscribed there, you can do that, and go ahead and do that. And if you're on YouTube, do me a favor. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment box. Say hello in the comment box, and then I want you to share this video via YouTube and tag 5 people and tell them to tune in to our channel to check out this awesome message tonight on the gray area. Again, it's going to be nice. I cannot wait to teach this. I'm excited, like the usual nerd that I am, to be able to share this insight that God's given me for you concerning your life and what the gray area is. It's going to be powerful. Can't wait to share it. All right, y'all. So let's get going. I need you to tag 5 people quickly. If you have not already, if you have tuned in and have not hit that @ symbol and tag 5 people, you have not done your job. I need you to tag 5 people tonight quickly. Tell them to tune in because this is going to be a very fast and powerful lesson tonight. We will be done by 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to get right to the point tonight in teaching this. And I'm so grateful that you've tuned in, those of you that have tuned in. But again, do me a favor, hit that @ symbol. I want you to invite 5 people, tell them to tune in, and let's get ready to teach a very powerful lesson tonight called The Gray Area. We're going to start a series tonight called The Gray Area, and man, it's going to be powerful. I can't wait to share it with you, and I'm just so tickled that you tuned in, and take my word for it. You won't regret this. Tuning in tonight. So again, if you have not already, good. I see some of you starting to do it. Hit that @ symbol, start tagging 5 people, tell them to tune in. Tonight's going to be powerful. We're starting a series called The Gray Area, and I'm going to make it make sense really fast, and you're going to be glad you tuned in tonight. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get into it. The Gray Area, part 1. I am going to be starting at Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, the NIV version. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6 is where I'm going to start tonight. And I'm going to start here. And this is probably all I will get through tonight for part 1. but I do want to lay a foundation for what the series is about and what I mean about the gray area. And I really want to explain this a little tonight. And then we will proceed and build on this as we always do, week after week. So that's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. NIV version is where I'm coming from. So if you've got that, you can find it on your phones or devices or actual Bible if you still have those. But go ahead and get there because I want to deal with these two verses to lay the foundation for the series. Again, the gray area. All right. So look at this. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6 says this, and we've heard this verse before, but we're going to make it make sense tonight. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Verse 6, in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This is the first point I want to give to you to explain why I'm calling this series the gray area. And this is the first point I want you to receive. All right, here you go. In our desire for clarity, we ignore the power of uncertainty. In our desire for clarity, we ignore the power of uncertainty. Okay? In our desire for clarity in life, in anything concerning our life, what we tend to do is we tend to become so interested in wanting to understand that we ignore the power of uncertainty. So what the gray area really represents, the gray area represents the area of your life you're not sure about. This is, man, I'm getting excited. The gray area represents the portion, the element of your life. It can be in your career. It can be in your relationships. It can be concerning your plans for your future in general or specifically, it doesn't matter. The gray area represents the element of your life that you are not sure about. When we understand that that's the gray area, the middle, it is the shade between black and white. It is the middle. When we understand that the gray area is the area of our life that we are not certain about, then the larger point that we've got to lift out of this series is that while you're not certain about the gray areas of your life, that is not the time to panic. In our desire for clarity, wanting to understand, wanting to know, I'm here to tell you that there is power in the gray area. Are y'all following me? There is power in the gray area. There is power in the areas of your life you do not understand. All right? Okay, so I'm trying to go slow tonight. I really want to make this make sense. And so drop notes in the comment in the chat area so that everybody watching can catch it, so that everybody catching the replay can catch it. But again, I want to say this, that it is in the gray areas of your life, in the uncertain areas of your life, that there is a hidden power that you have to tap into. Again, this is counterintuitive to a larger popular narrative that suggests that we all need to understand everything. And I'm going to argue during this series that, in fact, you do not have to understand everything, that the greater purpose is that you find strength in the uncertainty. That when your life is in the gray, your life is not in a bad place. And I'm getting excited. And so when you get that, when you grasp that my life is in the gray, but it ain't in trouble, then it completely changes the way you see your life. All right. When you grasp that if any area of my life is in the gray, if any area of my life is uncertain, if any area of my life does not make sense, I am not in a danger spot. I'm actually in a place where I can find clarity in the uncertainty. Are y'all with me? Have you tagged 5 people that are mature enough to chew this tonight? All right. And so that's what we're going to deal with. And that is finding clarity in uncertain spaces. Now, go back to the text. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. I feel like I'm giving y'all too much, but it's going to get heavier. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him or submit to him, and he will make your path straight. I want you to record this. Life is easier when you can live with what you don't know. Life is easier when you learn how to live with what you don't know. I didn't say what you don't have. I said life is easier when you learn how to live with what you don't know. Now, maybe we could make the argument that life is easier when you can live with what you don't have. That could be true in some aspects. We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with having. We're dealing with knowing, right? And I want to argue to you tonight that life is easier when you can live with what you don't know. Rev, Dr. Zeb, how do you know? It's easy. Think about how life was when you were a child. When you were a child, children are mostly carefree, not because they know as much. They are carefree because they live fearlessly in the unknown. Children, little children, live what are seemingly carefree lives, not because they know as much as adults. They live carefree lives because they live fearlessly in the unknown. Right? I'm gonna make it make sense. Giselle and 4 running around here without a care in the world. 7 and 8 ain't paying no bills. Don't have to worry about where food coming from. Don't have to worry about how the energy bill gonna get paid, the mortgage, the car note, clothes. Don't have to worry about nothing. And so you walking around as a full-fledged adult, got all of these responsibilities that you know of. And you stressed out because you know of them. Little children live in the same environment, but because they don't know as much as you, they are able to live fearless in the same environment that you function in panic. So what's the difference? The reason why a child can live in a house that has a mountain of bills with no stress is because what they don't know causes them to live fearlessly. Am I going too heavy for y'all? What they don't know positions them to live fearlessly. And so because there is this element of the unknown, they are able to function without a care, not because they can't get hurt, not because they can't get evicted like the parents. They live fearlessly because you can't be afraid of what you don't know. You cannot, I received that, Elder. Thank you so much. Even though I'm a little tan from being in the sun. They cannot be fearful of what they don't know. Look at it this way. Take a little child, not a 7 or 8 year old like Giselle. Take a kid who's 1, 2. Maybe that's a little old. No, maybe 9 months. You're walking around 9, 10 months. 9, 10 months, 1 year old, maybe at the most 2. You're just starting to walk. You're crawling. You're curious. Everything is an illusion to you, interesting to you. If you take a 1 year old that is walking, staggering, and they're staggering towards an open stove. Okay, the stove is open. They're staggering towards the stove. Why would they stagger towards the stove? Well, because they can feel heat radiating from it, right? So the stove is on. Let me give you, add that part to it. The stove is on. They feel heat radiating from the stove. There's a light that's on from the stove, so the light draws them in. The mouth of the stove is open. They feel heat. And all a 1-year-old knows is to go towards what they see, what's open. Now, you grown, you 20, 30, 40, 80. You know that if you go towards the stove and it's on, there's a price to pay for touching that stove. Children don't know that. All they know is what they know. And because they are not of the knowledge to receive the danger of the situation of an open stove, how do they live? Not with caution. They live fearless. Pastor, what's the point you're getting at? Here we go. With knowledge and information comes responsibility. With knowledge, man, I feel like teaching. And responsibility, don't forget this, with knowledge and information comes responsibility. Do not forget this. Anytime you are endowed with knowledge, to whom much is given, much more is required. Doesn't talk about what you're given. But if you are given more knowledge, if you are given more information, you are inherently given more responsibility. Just like if you're given more money, you typically have more responsibility. If you're given more insight, you typically have more responsibility. If you're given a greater job title on your job, you are typically with that given more responsibility. So with more knowledge and information comes responsibility. As a result, then we understand that sometimes when we are in uncertain spaces in our lives, we seek to get information to get out of the uncertainty. But in the process of getting information to get out of the uncertainty, we increase our level of responsibility because we can't rest in what we don't understand. Did y'all hear what I said? When you are in trouble and you don't understand something in your life, it is natural for you to grasp for information. God, help me understand it. Help it make sense. Help it make sense to me concerning and you are grasping for information. But what you don't realize is that if you get more information in your uncertainty, you are also with the information given responsibility. And so the added responsibility in an uncertain space only heightens your stress because you can't be told, watch this, you cannot be told that somebody in your family is in trouble without feeling the stress of the information you were just given. If somebody in your family is in trouble and you are never informed of such, it is the lack of knowledge and information. It is the uncertainty. It is the unknown that keeps you in a place of limited responsibility. Why? Because you can't be responsible for what you don't know. A little 1-year-old can't be responsible for touching a stove that's open, that's on, because a 1-year-old doesn't understand the dangers and doesn't have the knowledge and understand the dangers of an open stove. Who is responsible for a 1-year-old touching a stove that's on with the mouth open? It is the adult. It is the teenager. It is the person who's older, who has more knowledge and information. Why? Because to whom much is given, much more is required. I'm trying to make this simple argument to you that the greatest thing you can go after is not information. The greatest thing you can pursue in your life is wisdom. Proverbs 4 and 7. Get it? NIV. I feel like I'm too heavy for y'all, and I'm about to jump out of my skin in this dining room. Are y'all listening to me? Proverbs 4 and 7 says this: wisdom is the principle or the main thing. And in all of your getting, get understanding. It doesn't say in all of your wisdom, get knowledge. It says in all of your getting, get wisdom. What do you mean, preacher? What you understand will always be greater than what you know. Are y'all listening to me? What you understand will always be greater than what you know. So when you are living your life and part of your life is in a gray space and you don't understand it, the best thing you can do is seek God for wisdom according to what you understand, instead of asking God to give you answers. I know this is good. Pastor, you're telling me, Pastor, you're telling me that when I pray, I should not ask God for answers. I am suggesting to you that it is okay if you pray and ask God for answers, but understand that when God gives you answers, sometimes in the process of giving him answers, he creates more problems, because with more knowledge comes more responsibility. I just want to scream right now. I'm getting myself happy. Is this making sense to anybody? You don't even realize that when you say to God, God, give me an answer, he'll answer. He'll answer. He'll do. But when you ask God for an answer, you're also asking him for more responsibility, because he never gives you an answer without creating with the answer more responsibility. Basic example. God, help me lose weight. I need an answer, God. I'm giving you a petty, simple example. God, I need an answer. How can I lose weight? And God drops down and says, hey, son, daughter, you can lose weight by going to the gym. The knowledge is going to the gym. But going to the gym then creates more responsibility, because now you got to carve in your day, morning, night, or both, time to go to the gym. Now you got to carve into your diet different ways to try to eat, to curb your appetite, to make sure that you're eating healthy things. And so the answer to the problem was going to the gym. But knowing the answer in and of itself created other problems. Is this making sense? And so when we ask God for answers, we're in a gray space, we're in an uncertain space that makes no sense to us, and we don't want to be here. And we say, God, answer me now and get me out of here. Answer me. You don't even realize that God will give you the way out. But when he gives you the way out, you do realize that when you choose to accept it, with it comes additional responsibility. And so the greater, stronger prayer to ask God in an uncertain place is, God, I'm in a space I don't understand. Give me the wisdom to navigate it. Am I making somebody throw a heart up? Somebody send a smoke signal. Let me know this is making sense. If you watching the replay, drop a comment, throw a heart. Is this making sense to anybody? The mature, the wise prayer is not, God, give me an answer to my problem. The wise prayer is, God, give me wisdom in my problem. So that while I'm in the gray space, instead of getting a solution that adds more stress to where I am, you give me the wisdom to be able to handle where I am until the tides turn. See, because again, the more you know, the more you are responsible for. And sometimes, again, when we are asking God for more answers, and God, give us more solutions. I'm in this gray space. I'm in this uncertain space. I don't have the answers to stuff. God, I need answers. And see, we often mistake clarity for answers. God can give you clarity without giving you an answer. I'm going to say this again. This is getting good to me. This ain't even in my notes. God can give you clarity without giving you an answer. Pastor, Dr. Zeb, how can God give me clarity without giving me an answer? It's simple. God can give you instruction to make you comfortable in what you're in without necessarily bringing you out of what you are in. The answer brings you out of it. The clarity makes you comfortable in it. Have y'all studied this week? I've been studying. I'm going to say it again. The answer brings you out of your problem. Clarity gives you comfort in it. Let me help you. Let's go back to the parent example. I feel like I'm losing y'all. Maybe this ain't making sense. Let's go back to the parent example. The other day, Giselle and Four was pressing me on this messenger thing. Today was their last day of school. Pressing me on this messenger thing. And they had been asking me for like the last week, 2 weeks, Daddy, can we get messenger? Because I want to keep in contact with our kid, with our friends when school's over. Sure, I want you to keep in contact, but what is messenger? It's just an app you download on your iPad, whatever. You talk to other kids, whatever. Well, I said, let me think about it. Because I don't, messenger, first thing I think of with messenger is Facebook. So let me think about it, I'll get back with you. It's 2 weeks ago. Literally every single day, as 7 and 8 year olds do, they ask you every day, Daddy, have you thought about it? Have you come up with? No, I haven't, but I'll let you know. So this morning, we're down to the wire. It's the last day. And no, last night, down to the wire, and we were out having dinner. And, Giselle says, hey, Dad, you come up with anything on Messenger? And I said, no, I haven't. I said, I'll let you know. Well, Daddy's, tomorrow's the last day of school. I know it is. I ain't forgot when the last day is. See, God's the same way. God ain't forgot when you need your answer. He has not forgot where you are in your struggle. And we be pressing him for an answer like he don't know what's going on. They pressing me. I need an answer. I need an answer on Messenger. I need an answer. You don't have to press me on an answer for Messenger. I know when the last day of school is. I know your schedule better than you do. And there's a message in that. Because God knows your future better than you do. And you pressing him for an answer, and he just trying to make you comfortable. Good God from Zion. Are y'all listening to me? He trying to make you comfortable. You pressing him for an answer. He trying to get you to just settle where you at. You pressing for an answer. Because you dying to get messenger and get more responsibility that comes with it. Now, let me show you how sovereign God is and how sovereign I was in this situation. They pressing me. I messenger, I just sound like Facebook, but I wasn't sure. I'm a little technologically savvy, but I wasn't sure what it was. Come to find out, today, Giselle gets in the car, Ford, and says, hey, Daddy, we found out. This is after the last day of school. Because this morning I gave, that they got iCloud accounts because they got a little iPad. So I told them you can give your little iCloud account out to your friends and they can, their parents or they got an iCloud account. They can FaceTime you. And y'all can do that, text or whatever on your little iPad, do that because they don't have phones. And so I wrote their iCloud things down on a piece of paper. They was passing it out today or letting people copy it or whatever. It's fine. Today they get in the car and Giselle and Ford say, yeah, Daddy, we found out that in order to use Messenger, you got to have a Facebook account. I said, really? So yeah, you got a Facebook account, but there's a way you can do it where it's parent safe and the parent can put it under their account And, you can use Facebook. I said, well, no, y'all won't have Messenger because y'all don't have Facebook. So you won't have Messenger. Now, if I would have given them Messenger, I would have also given them the responsibility of Facebook. I would have solved a problem, but I would have created a greater problem, because in solving a problem, I have heightened their responsibility through the solution. Can I help y'all? There are some problems God ain't solving in your life because you ain't ready for the responsibility that comes with the answer. I quit. I'm gonna wrap up right here. Y'all not ready for me tonight. Did you hear what I said? There are some problems in your life that will remain gray, because if God gives you the solution, the responsibility that comes with the solution is bigger than your pay grade. It's bigger than your maturity. It's bigger than your emotional stability. Y'all not listening to me. I told you this series is going to be one of the best series I ever taught. You asking God for answers. God, give me answers. And so let me tell you the difference between that. The answer was Messenger. That's what they wanted. But when they said that, it validated what I thought. No, can't give you Messenger, because then if I give you Messenger, I'm giving you Facebook, and that's a bigger problem for a 7 to 8-year-old to be on Facebook. This is my house. Y'all can do what y'all want to do in y'all's house. But my 7 to 8-year-old ain't going to be on Facebook. So that's a bigger problem. I'm not going to create a bigger problem by giving you an answer. So what was the solution I was giving them the whole time? It's simple. First, it was, I'll get back to you. And then it shifted to, you're just not going to get it. Do what I say. Now, let me tell you how no or do what I say creates clarity. Trying to help y'all tonight. Because when God says to you, I ain't going to give you the answer, but just stay where you are and do what I tell you to do. Or I got a better one than that, because they're good for this. Dad, why can't we have Messenger? Why can't we download Messenger? And here's my go-to. I hate it when my parents said it, but the go-to clarity response from any parent is this: because I said so. How many of you have asked your parents for something growing up, and the response was, because I said so? And you thought they didn't give you an answer, when in reality, they didn't give you what you wanted, but they did give you clarity. Because see, sometimes we think God ain't giving us clarity because he ain't gave us an answer. But the clarity comes in understanding that you just going to do what I tell you to do. It's that simple. And so I don't know if this is making sense to y'all. I feel like I'm not explaining this well, but this is what I'm trying to say to you. The less you seek to understand, the less connected you become to outcomes. The less you seek to understand, wisdom is the principal thing. And in all you're getting, get understanding. Understand this. I'm sorry. The less you seek knowledge, the less connected you will become to outcome. And when I say knowledge, I don't mean being dumb. I mean having answers. The less you seek answers, the less you seek solutions, the less you will be connected to outcomes. Because anybody that's always got to have an answer, anybody that's always got to have a solution, is somebody that always is going to be connected to the outcome. They're not going to like where they are because they think that where they are is connected to them not having answers. And I'm here to tell you, some of you are where you are, not because you ain't got answers. You are where you are because you have not gained clarity with where you are. I quit. Some of you are where you are, not because God ain't gave you answers. You begging for answers. That ain't why you are where you are. You are where you are because you have yet to learn the lesson, the clarity behind where you are. And until you get clarity, solutions are useless without clarity first. A solution that comes without clarity will get you out of one problem and put you in the same problem again. Y'all want to know how cycles are created? I quit. Y'all don't want this. Do you want to know how cycles are created? Let me tell you how cycles are created. Cycles are created because people get solutions but don't get clarity. Cycles are created when people get solutions and not get clarity. When you pull somebody out of a situation and don't explain to them how they got in the situation in the first place, they come out of the situation and end up doing the same thing again. When you are pulled out of a situation without any real clarity about how you got there, without any real clarity of the mistakes you made to get there, without any real clarity about the things you could have done differently not to be there, when we pull you out of that situation and you have no clarity, the solution is pulling you out. But I'm here to tell you, you're going to go right back to what you came out of if you get a solution without clarity. Is this making sense to anybody? So when outcomes no longer matter, when solutions no longer matter, when answers no longer matter, watch, you no longer become attached to what's happening. You get unattached to being in a gray space, in an uncertain space, and your prayer life shifts from God, I don't need an answer. God, give me clarity. Help me understand why I'm in this gray space to begin with. Because if you give me understanding of how I got here, then when I eventually get out, I will never return to what I came out of. Stand therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ has made you free. Here, and be not entangled again. The only way you don't get tangled up in a gray space, in an uncertain space that you were in before, is not because God gives you an answer. It is because he gives you clarity while you tangled up. Because if you get clarity in prison, guess what? You never go back. If you get clarity in a bad relationship, when you get out, you never go back to it. If you get clarity on a bad job, when you leave, you never go back. See, people leave bad relationships and go right back to them. Why? Because they never got clarity when they were in it in the first place. And you thought that breaking up with them was the answer. No, breaking up with them ain't the answer. Because you can break up with somebody, but if you ain't got clarity as to why you broke up, you'll feel a little bit emotional and go right back to what you broke up with. I told y'all, y'all didn't tune in tonight, and people are going to be mad they missed tonight. I don't know how much plainer to make this. And that's not to suggest, listen to me, that's not to suggest that you can come out of a relationship and never go back. You can come out of a relationship and go back, but understand, you got to understand the clarity behind the problems that you had in the first place. Because if you don't have clarity behind the issues you had in the first place, then coming out of a relationship, breaking up a relationship don't mean that it's permanent. You can go right back to what you came out of if you get a solution with no clarity. And I'm here to tell y'all that many of you have been asking God to give you solutions, and you have failed in asking him to help you understand. You have failed in asking him to give you the wisdom and the understanding where you are, so that if he ever brings you out, if he ever makes the uncertain spaces in your life certain, you don't turn around and go back to the very things that he brought you out of. There's a reason why you got gray spots in your life. You want to know what the main reason is? The main reason why you got gray spots is because sometimes it is in the uncertainty that God makes things very clear to you. And so instead of him pulling you out, he intentionally leaves you in the uncertainty, because he understands that there is real freedom when you are okay in the dark. I'm going to say this again. There is real freedom when you learn to be okay in the dark. Go back to the kid example. The last example I'm going to give you, I got 750. I'm going to give you this. We're going to pray and we're going to be done. Go back to the kid example. Think about kids when you was a kid. When you was a kid, what did you need at night? You needed a light. Night lights. Night lights used to be popular back in the day I was growing up. Now y'all use your cell phone and iPads. You know, got a camera on the flashlight on the back. When I grew up, they had a little thing you stuck in the wall that had a light to it, and it lit up your whole room. And when you was a kid, you wanted a night light. Why? Because when your mom and daddy put you in your room and cut the lights off and it got dark and the TV was off, you couldn't see something, and you associated darkness with being lost. You thought that because you were in the dark that you were lost, that you were forgotten, that you were going to be harmed. You thought that something was going to happen to you because you were in the dark. So to soothe you as a kid, you were given a nightlight to make you comfortable in a dark space. Kids need the light when they grow up. Here's the flip side. As they mature, they no longer fear the darkness because they understand that a light does not change the environment. The light is just clarity for where you are. I quit. I don't see no hearts. I don't see no virtual amen. Maybe this ain't making sense to y'all. When a kid is given a nightlight in a dark room, it don't change the room. Because see, you would think the easy solution is, oh, just get in the dark, pull them out the room and put them in another room. Here's the problem. There's darkness everywhere. So pulling them out the room doesn't fix the situation. That's an answer. And so you begging God for answers. But what you don't realize is that sometimes when God gives you if he pulled you out of one dark room and puts you in another one, you ain't learned the lesson. And that is darkness is everywhere. And the darkness ain't going to hurt you. So what God does is God keeps you in the darkness, but gives you a nightlight. I quit. Y'all, let's pray. Sometimes God keeps you in the darkness and gives you a nightlight, and you cry because you thought he didn't give you an answer. But what he's trying to give you is he's trying to give you clarity instead of bringing you out. Because if he can get you to understand that if I got you in a dark room and it's dark, but this light reveals to you ain't nothing gonna happen to you, then you grow to be comfortable in the dark. So he ain't got to rush to pull you out of darkness when he can help you understand that the darkness ain't gonna hurt you. You got to stop begging God for answers to the gray space and start asking God to help you get clarity in the space you're in. Stop begging God to bring you out of uncertain gray spaces and start asking God to give you a nightlight so you understand where you at. I'm done. This bless anybody tonight? Huh? This bless anybody? If this bless you, I'll throw up some hands. I see some people putting up throw up some hands, say amen, scream, do something. Throw up a heart, do something. Did this make sense? This will be the most powerful series I have ever taught. And it seems like I say that every other couple of months when we do these series. But let me tell you what makes this series so powerful. Because this series is going to stop you from begging God for answers. Y'all got to stop. You got to stop begging God for answers. Stop it. Because you don't even realize God giving you answers. And when he does, he give you more responsibility with the answer. But if you ain't learned the lesson, you'll take the solution, but not learn the lesson. And I'm here to tell you the lesson is greater than the solution. I'm going to say it again. The lesson is greater than the solution. The lesson is greater than the solution. Take somebody who's been locked up. Take somebody who's gone to the principal's office, whatever. If you didn't learn the lesson behind going to the principal's office, your little detention area time can run up. But what's going to happen? You ain't learned the lesson. you're going to be a repeat offender and you're going back. The lesson is always greater than the solution. Ain't no need of folk bailing you out of jail and you ain't learned the lesson while you was in there. I know y'all don't like that because y'all quick to be like, free such stuff, free such stuff. I'm with it. Free Willie, free Ray Ray, free whoever. I'm with that. But let me tell you something. When we free them, let's make sure that they got some clarity. Because you can be free, but if you get free and you ain't got no clarity, the recidivism rate is real high. That means the repeat rate is real high. I like what somebody put here. Answers are what to do, clarity why I'm doing it. That's exactly, I got a better one than that. Not only are answers what to do, clarity is why you are there in the first place. That's clarity. Because when you understand why you're there in the first place and how you got there, guess what? You don't return to that position anymore. And some of us asking, we begging God, bring us out of this, change my job, change my money, give me more money, give me relationship. And so what do? He pull you out of a job. You've been begging him for an answer. So he let one of your little applications get a return call and you get the new job. But here's the problem. Your attitude just as raggedy on the new job as it was on the old one. And what ends up happening is you get a new job. You got an answer, but you had no clarity on what the real problem was. And a new job without clarity on the fact that you got to fix your attitude and learn how to be a team player will put you in a new job with the same problems. And guess what? You repeat cycles, because don't forget what I told you earlier. And I never want you to forget it. Cycles are created when people get solutions and not clarity. A cycle is nothing more than the gift of a solution without clarity. I'm done. This bless anybody? I could teach this Lionel Richie style. What's that, Pastor? All night long. I could teach this straight Lionel Richie tonight, all night long. Until you get clarity, solutions will keep you in a cycle. They will keep you in a cycle. Listen, y'all, I want to pray. You got a prayer request? I'm done. 7:57. I got to be done in 3 minutes. Let's pray. You got a prayer request tonight? If you got a prayer request, I'm giving you 30 seconds. I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. Oh, this was good. If y'all don't share tonight's video, I don't know what to tell you to do. But I want to pray for you. I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. If you got a prayer request, you type it in the comments. If you've got something nobody can read, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. Email your prayer requests. And I read those. And every morning, 4:30 in the morning, I get up, I pray over your request. So I don't care what the requests are. I want to pray over your request. I want you to email me your prayer request tonight. If you don't want to type it in the comments, but quickly, I'm giving you 20 seconds, really, really fast. I want to wrap this up. I want you to type in your prayer request right now. I want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I'm praying for your clarity in the gray space. I'm praying for your clarity in the uncertain space. Not that God will give you all of this big, great, grand answer and create more confusion because you couldn't really quite handle where you were. Now you really can't handle how to come out. I'm praying that he give you clarity where you are, because sometimes we don't need an answer. We just need clarity. Sometimes we don't need an answer. We need understanding. We don't need knowledge. We don't need to know more. We need to know what to do with where we are. And that's my prayer for you, that God will help you to understand what to do where you are, so that the clarity then helps to wisen you versus the answers coming just to pull you out of something, but you ain't learned nothing and you go right back to what you were in. Is this making sense to y'all? All right. So I want you to clasp your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. I don't see a lot of prayer requests tonight, but I want to pray. If you got a prayer request, maybe some of you have emailed it in. If you're watching the replay, feel free to type in your prayer request. I always watch the replay and go through it, especially towards the end, just to see the prayer request. But I want to pray for you. If you've got a prayer request and you're watching the replay, type it in, or you can email it to me directly. Just put in subject line prayer request, info@rehabcc.org, and I'll pray over your request. But let's pray. Clasp your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. You ready? Let's do it. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you tonight for your word. Thank you for this time, awesome time of gathering you've given us. Wow. Thank you for the clarity you have provided concerning your word and dark spaces, gray spaces, uncertain spaces. We are thankful tonight for the places in our lives we don't understand, for the seasons in our lives that we don't understand, for the predicaments that we're in that we sincerely don't understand, for the circumstances that we face that we sincerely don't understand, because we recognize that there is clarity in gray spaces. Help us, God, not to abort the gray space, not to run away from the gray space, but to embrace the gray space as the place where you bring about greater understanding, not only concerning where we are, but where it is that we are heading in our lives. I speak this to everybody watching this live broadcast. I speak this to everybody watching this replay, that you would give them clarity where they are so that they can see clearly where they're going. Now, God, for every prayer request that's come across the chat line, every prayer request that's come to our inbox tonight, every request that's so great that has burdened your people so much that they can't even formulate it in words, those unspoken requests, we speak to them tonight, all of these requests, and ask God, we lift them up to you as the one that is the author and the finisher of our faith. Answer the request of your people as only you can. Answer prayers, make ways, open doors, meet needs, heal bodies, fix families, fix circumstances, fix conditions as only you can. And God, as we lift it up to you, we will reset our energy. We will reset our mindset to be positive where we are, to be grateful where we are, to have an attitude of gratitude where we are, as we wait for you to answer our prayers as only you can. We thank you for these things. Thank you, God, for this week being a week filled with miracles, open doors, made ways, impossible situations being made possible. We thank you for this week filled with miracles, and we count these things done in Jesus' name. Amen. I want you to type in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. It is so. Good. I see these prayer requests still coming in. I'm certainly praying that God helps all of us learn how to deal with difficult, impossible people. It is certainly a very powerful prayer to ask. Thank you so much for adding that. Come on, y'all. If y'all pray with me, put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that comment, if you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want you to put it in the comments now. It is so. It is so. Listen, I want to challenge you to give really quickly. If this message, if this broadcast, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give tonight. I'm going to challenge you to sow into our ministry. I'm so grateful that as we've been in this virtual space, so many of you have continued to give and be a blessing to us. And it is because of your giving that we've still been able to continue to pay bills and do the things that we do to sustain this ministry. And I'm very grateful for you. I want to challenge you tonight to give. If this ministry, if this message, if this broadcast has blessed you, you can sow into our ministry one of three ways: via Cash App, $RehabCC Give. Our website, www.rehabcc.org, subject, or click on the option online giving, or from your cell phone, simply text Rehab Works to 88202. Text Rehab Works to 88202. You can do either three of those options. If you want to give your tithes, if you want to give an offering seed, if you want to sow a special seed tonight, I want you to know that your giving is so instrumental in not only sustaining us as we come out of this pandemic, but also helping us to return to the great things that we've done as a ministry, a very young ministry that will turn 8 years old in August, but has fed and clothed over 20,000 people with less than 200 members. We've done it because of your giving. Tithes and offering has made the way for us. And so I want to challenge you tonight to give. If this ministry, if this broadcast has been a blessing, I want to challenge you to give to it. And I promise you, God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. Again, that's Cash App, $RehabCC Give. Our website, www.rehabcc.org. Choose online giving, or you can text Rehab Works to 88202. Text Rehab Works to 88202, and right to your cell phone, you'll see the prompts, and you can give right from there. And we promise you, God is going to bless you in a tremendous way. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I almost kept my promise. It's 8:03 Eastern time, and I wanted to be very succinct tonight because I hope you will tune in next Tuesday for part 2 of this series. Wow. If you have not already, I need you to share this video, like this video, share this video with somebody, tag somebody and tell them, listen, I know you've been praying and asking God to give you answers, but the real prayer is to ask God to give you clarity. And they're going to look at you like, what? And have them watch this. And if they don't understand it, then I didn't do my job. I promise you, this is going to make sense to somebody. Do me a favor, share this video with 5 people. And then do me a favor, make plans to tune in this Sunday again, right here in the virtual space for our Sunday morning experience. And I promise you, God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a fantastic week. And again, Stop asking God for answers and start asking Him for clarity. And it's going to change your entire perspective concerning every uncertain space in your life. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
For watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.